So in this video we are going to learn about charts. In charts we will be discussing mainly upon bar chart, column chart, pie chart and scatter chart. So in this example, let's see how we can construct a bar chart. For that, what we need to do is first we will construct a data, and for constructing data we will use the rand between function and all of the cells. Now let's just copy these and we'll paste in the values, otherwise the number will keep on changing. Now the names that we see here in column B, Birtamot, Surunga, Sanistare, Badrapur and Kankarbita are the names of places, and these parameters are the preference of people, and this number 119 in cell C5 indicates that 119 people of Birtamot prefer radio over other means of gaining information. So now what we'll do is we'll construct a bar diagram using this data. For that, first of all we'll select the data, then we'll hit to insert, and then we'll hit to insert bar chart, and we'll click on the model that we want to insert. Suppose this is the bar diagram. Now let us see what modifications we can make in this bar diagram. Suppose we want to change the title here and write preference for information. Yes. And now suppose we also want to add titles in both the axes. For that, what we'll do is we'll hit to this plus button and we'll click on axis titles and we'll tick mark it. And now as you can see, we've got the axis title and we can edit this title. For example, here we can write location, and here we can write number of people. Now let's make it a little bigger size. Now suppose we also want the actual data to be displayed in our charts rather than diagrammatic figure only, and for that we have got two options. First, let us add to this plus sign, and either we can choose data labels so that data is displayed over these columns or over these bars, or we can also select the data table so that whole data is displayed alongside the chart. Other elements that we can add to the bar diagram or bar chart is the error bars. We'll get to that in the later part of this video. Now let's see how we can insert a pie chart. So let us head to this worksheet pie chart. Now for constructing pie chart, we need to separate the data and we need to prepare an individual pie chart for different kinds of data. For example, let us separate the radio, now for constructing pie chart, what we'll do is we'll select the data, then we'll hit to insert, then we'll click on insert pie chart and we'll select the model that we require. For example, this is the pie chart of preference of radio by people of different locations. Similarly, this is of television, and this of newspaper, and finally this is of internet. Now we can also add data labels in pie chart as we did in bar chart. For that we'll hit to this plus sign and we'll click on data labels. Now we can also change how our pie chart looks and how data is displayed. For that we'll just need to click on a pie chart. Then we can see chart tools tab is appeared and it contains design and format. Under the design tab we can see different kinds of design that can be applied to our pie chart. And if we hit to this quick layout option, then we can also see that we can change actually how data is displayed. For example, if we want data in percent, or we just want the name written in chart without the legend, or we only want legend, etc. Now let us see about scatter diagram. For constructing scatter diagram, we have got absorbance of light of 280 nanometer in lysozyme enzyme. We have got the concentration of enzyme in column D, and we have got absorbance in column E. What we'll do is we'll select these two data, then we'll hit to insert, and we'll hit to scatter, and we'll choose the desired format. Now let us suppose that we want to know the R square value between concentration and absorbance, and we also want the formula that relates these two variables. For that we'll hit to design tab, and under the quick layout function we'll select this layout, which gives us the R square value and the formula which relates these two variables. Now in the next example, we have got climate data of Ilam district. We have got the data of rainfall from year 1985 to 2005 of 12 months in the worksheet Ilam rainfall. And what we want to do is we want to calculate the average of all this data, and for that we are going to use the average function. So we'll give an equal sign and we'll execute the average function, and then we are going to select the data cells and hit enter. Now we can use the autofill option. Now all these cells consist of formula, so what we need to do is we need to copy this data and we need to paste values so that we get the actual value in cells, not formulas. And we are going to do the same operation with the temperature data also. We'll give an equal sign and we'll execute the average function. We'll select the cell range and hit enter. Now we'll use the autofill and we'll copy the data and we will paste values. Now let us arrange all this average data in workable format, and I have already arranged the data for you in Ombothermic worksheet. Here we have got month in column A, minimum temperature in column B, maximum temperature in column C, and rainfall in column D. These are the average values that we obtained using the average function. Now let us see how we can insert a ombothermic diagram or ombothermic chart. For that we'll select all this data and we'll hit to insert, and then we'll go to insert line chart and we'll insert a 2D line chart. Now as we can see, the data of rainfall is drastically different than the data of minimum and maximum temperature. So what we'll do is we'll insert a secondary axis that will reference the data of rainfall, and for that we are going to head to the format tab, and under the format tab we'll click on this drop down list and we'll select the series rainfall and we'll click to format selection. And as you can see, under series options, we can select in which axis the series is plot on, and we will select the secondary axis. Now as we can see, the temperature minimum and maximum is indexed by the primary vertical axis, and the series rainfall is indexed by the secondary vertical axis. Now let's say we don't want these decimal places in the legend, and so for that what we'll do is we'll select the secondary axis, and under format axis options we'll head to the number, and here we can reduce the number of decimal places, and we'll simply write here 0. Now let us suppose that we want to change how our data appears in this chart. For example, we want the rainfall to be in the line chart as it is, but we want the minimum and maximum temperature to be displayed on bar chart. For that we'll just select the chart and we'll head to change chart type, and from here we'll make the chart type of maximum and minimum to column, and we'll click on OK. And as you can see, we have got the desired chart type. Now let's see how we can insert error bars in column chart. And for inserting the error bars, we need to first calculate the standard error. Now we all know that standard error is standard deviation by square root of total number of samples, and in Excel we can calculate the standard error by using the function stdev by sqrt count. Now let's calculate the standard deviation of all this data, and for that we'll give an equal sign, and we'll start our function stdev, and we'll select the data range, and then we'll close the bracket and we'll give a slash. Then we'll use next function sqrt, then we'll use count function, and we'll again select the data range, and we'll hit enter. Now we have got the standard error of rainfall of January. Now we are going to use autofill to calculate the standard error of all the months, and then we'll reduce the number of decimal places, and we'll simply copy all these, and then we'll paste values. Now similarly we are going to calculate the standard deviation of temperature data also, and then we'll again use the autofill, and we'll copy all this data and we'll paste in the values. Now we'll construct a separate table for standard error of these data. Now let's copy the standard error of rainfall, and we'll paste here, transposing the value. Now we have arranged all the data, and we'll just autofill the months. And now for adding the error bars, we'll select the series which we want to add the error bars first. For example, we have selected the series maximum. Then we'll head to design options, and we'll click on add chart element, and we'll click on error bars, and we'll click on standard error. And if we click on these error bars, error bar options appear at the right side of the screen. Then we'll click on this error bar options, and we will select the custom, and we'll click on specify value. Now the box prompts us to especially the value of both positive error value and negative error value. And since our both value is same, so what we will do is we will just select this column of standard error of maximum temperature, and then we'll click on OK. And as you can see, the error bars have appeared. And for minimum also we will follow the same process. And similarly for rainfall also we can follow the same procedure. Now this is how we insert error bars. And if you look in large view of this chart, you can clearly see the different error bars in different series. Thank you. And if you have any queries regarding Microsoft Excel or any other softwares, you can comment down below. We'll try our best to solve your queries. And be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you.